about spamming a hero, and he said basically what it does is it allows you to understand everything else so much clearer.
Yeah,
The game just becomes so clear.
Yep, for sure.
It's that kind of muscle memory.
It just levels you up.
Yeah.
It does,
basically.
yeah.
Becomes natural so your brain can focus.
Oh my
on
god, this
everything.
is
That is an
So
this is some Planet Odd team fight. Let's battle.
all right, dude.
Void Phoenix, just as we were talking about, a brand new opener. I don't think we've seen a first pick Void yet this tournament.
This is speed draft.
I think we've seen one first phase Void, but this is...
So was it the group stage maybe when we had all the
when we had all of that.
Planet Odd picked Phoenix Void with what was the other? There was a mid.
Let me go ahead and pop that open here.
The pick that you expect.
Yes,
Ember.
yes, Ember.
Ember was the big hero in that draft. They basically just the early game went atrociously for Planet Odd. The Void died 4 times in lane, but none of that mattered. When they went into the mid game with the immense amount of team fight, they just destroyed.
I wonder if Newbee goes for the early drow. I know they really.
It looks like they're on that similar page.
Yeah.
I think both
teams
drafts are set up for a certain hero in the second phase. Planet Odd is set up for Invoker, Newbee set up for Drow, but I expect those heroes to get banned.
Yeah, most teams are second phase banning the drow against them just because they play it really well, and then they'll just pick a Visage just anyway.
It breaks my heart, but I really don't think Invoker's the hero. Like you,
just in general, right now, you think he's a bit weak.
You were essentially farming for 20 minutes in the game, and you do nothing else apart from a Sunstrike.
Miracle would like a word.
No, I think it works when your player is extremely good. Like we have a Miracle, but it's still difficult. It's only because the player is enabling it. Right?
And we've talked so much about high tempo heroes that come online early. These early skirmishes, definitely a meta with a lot of fighting.
Newbee banned it out anyway. But
and a Naga ban here from Planet Odd.
We should talk a little bit about the flex value of the Void. We have seen more and more teams running it in the one position.
Oh yeah,
off lane or safe lane.
I mean, it was actually trending for a while in NA. People doing Void mid. I think that was Axe Mike was playing that. If he
Void mid,
it's good against certain matchups.
I think it's good.
Void mid goes way back. Like Ferrari used to do.
Yeah,
that goes back to China.
I mean, so they could do something weird. They could do. I mean, they literally just ran Moon as a bristleback mid. So
that is true.
Depending on the lanes, they could definitely do it. I think Void's definitely a perfectly.
Does the Ursa ban tell you much?
I think just good against Phoenix, right?
I think what Ursa is good against Phoenix and Void.
And Void in lane, and Newbee just they always second phase pick Ursa.
Exactly.
So that's just
I think it's good against offlane Void as well. So maybe they're favoring that.
Yeah.
It could be leaning that way.
It's very likely.
It also is just a safe ban second phase against Newbee.
Yeah, and if they have 2 stuns as well.
Right, you absolutely had to ban these 2 heroes. Like we learned at TI last year how hard Nagasong can counter the Chronosphere, and you also Newbee is amazing with Ursa, and it counters both the first 2 heroes.
I feel like they're baiting Drow for that reason.
Maybe.
I really do think so.
Give me the Earth Spirit.
Interesting Darkseer ban from Newbee, so thinking that this could in fact be that position 1 Void that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think the most likely hero right now is an Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty decent. I mean, it's perfectly fine against these 2 heroes.
I much prefer Earth Spirit over Warlock.
Yeah.
I think it's just so much more consistent tempo. The silence is so
it can be scary being so reliant on those.
They're different heroes. Misery is generally the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, but a lot of teams kind of mix and match between this kind of stuff.
I mean, I personally think Earth Spirit is just a broken hero.
Yeah, it always will be. It's just the concept.
The concept, it just does too much. The thing is, every time they nerf it, it's like, all right, this hero sucks, and then players just find a way
and then he comes back again.
Yeah, to make it good again. It's just the skill cap just keeps going up.
What about I think Lifestealers actually, or Juggernaut, are very good against Earth Spirit because of how slow he is now. You know, all his projectiles, the stun, even the roll are pretty slow. And it's good against Phoenix. The Void is good against both of the heroes.
Seeing this setup for Newbee, all I can think of right now is Puck Drow with the Venge. That old classic trio.
I think that's why Newbee's taking their time here. They really are very carefully debating that Drow because it has the potential to be punished. But I like the Puck first.
Yeah.
Because it still does keep things open.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
You can decide if you want Drow based off the 4th pick of Planet Odd.
Right.
A lot of magic damage on this.
You know what's interesting though, right? A lot of the heroes that counter Drow don't actually work with Void because they're usually like melee in your face heroes.
Yeah.
That wanna crush, getting close.
Yeah.
And Void naturally doesn't work with that kind of hero.
Yeah, I mean that's very true.
Now you guys brought up the draft earlier where Planet Odd opened Phoenix Void. This is the same 3 first picks.
Yeah.
And they 4th pick LC in that draft.
Yeah.
I wonder if they go back in that direction here.
Very possible.
The way Moon played the LC was he was just kind of the sacrificial initiator. He was the one, I'm going to go in, I'm going to duel someone and get the team fight going. Everyone else can kind of crowd around me and create the kind of chaos.
I think LC will do pretty fine against these heroes too. They have a couple of single target stuns. They have puck silence that you can dispel.
How do you lane on LC if say it is this kind of SK
like an SK Venge?
+1?
That's a hard lane.
You can't do anything, right?
Yeah, you need pretty much Earth Spirit to help out a lot, or you just go jungle.
Okay.
So they grab Sven, sort of like you were talking about. Isn't it a little dicey with Sven Void on
Newbee
the
are going to come in. Look how fast that was.
There it is.
Look how fast that was.
Yeah.
Guarantee Newbee had that scripted. They said, look, here are the heroes if Odd picks that we're going to back away from the drow. Sven not in that side, very vulnerable to being
They
kited,
had to know it was
seen.
coming though, right? They picked Sven, a decent enough counter to the drow. You can just Warcry, good amounts of physical damage.
I mean, I think the best last pick for Newbee here is a Venomancer. I think it's really good at kiting Sven.
Oh, it's the dream.
It's gonna safe lane perfectly well.
I think Lena's fine too. Like I think that
you're very squishy.
And an offlane puck. I think an offlane puck might struggle against these heroes. I think Earth Spirit's really good against puck. I mean, the same thing goes for the middle lane actually though. So
what's Planet Odd's last pick here?
Or do you go right back to the Queen of Pain again?
You know that. They do have a drow. I mean, that's probably a perfectly fine pick. And the mid hero is the last one to come out from
Is
Planet
OD
Odd.
a possibility for Planet Odd here?
Oh boy.
Maybe comes on. This feels a little greedy.
I think it's a little greedy.
Greedy.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's a little greedy because they do have a Phoenix Earth Spirit, which is very greedy support.
They guarantee need something ranged here for Planet Odd.
So you're close with the Lena. They go ahead and ban it, which definitely would it would do really well in the middle lane.
You don't want to lose your mid lane and every other lane.
That's the problem with the drow lineup, right? The drow lineup can win every lane and just blow you off the map. And your team fight combo never comes online.
You don't even know if their Newbee picked her off, like if puck is off lane or safe.
Yeah, that's the power of the puck pick.
I feel like they're baiting the co-op for some reason. Like it's just
we know how that worked out last year.
It's so strange that they just got destroyed by it. It's not even touch, and it's very good with these particular heroes. I guess they're sure that puck is going mid or something like that. But I guess we'll see.
I'm trying to. What mid hero? Can I look at the heroes?
Yeah.
This is a tough last call for Planet Odd.
It really is a tough
They need something that synergizes with the Void that can do a lot of damage, but also isn't greedy.
I think you have to default back there because the number one thing for Odd right now is you need something that can play, that's playable against all this disable. From Newbee, you got 2 silences, you got 2 very reliable stuns. It takes away a lot of Wee's pool.
What about a Veno mid?
Tinker's pretty good. Veno would be pretty good too. Tinker, Veno, both heroes who do really well dealing with the chrono, or putting things into the
also
chrono.
gives you some D push with the Veno wards.
Newbee can DK, but I think you just go right back to Queen.
They could just
keep it simple.
I think Planet Odd could just pick the Ember Spirit as well.
Yeah. That was their combo in the last game. With
Although we're on the Newbee pick.
They have a lot of silences on Newbee too.
Maybe. Yeah, they do have a lot of silences actually, and a lot of stun too.
And a lot of stuns.
Although it's all magic. Ember does really well. Medusa.
Oh my lord.
So it's a puck off lane, Medusa mid.
And this really disrupts so much of what Odd is trying to do in the Chronosphere. Right?
Yeah.
We've actually seen Phoenix Medusa as a combo in itself, but the power of the Stone Gaze is that Planet Odd are trying to set up these fights going into the Chrono. All of a sudden, Medusa ults, and that's just all disrupted.
And with all this extra damage, Venge Aura, Drow Aura, this Medusa is actually going to have a pretty good lane presence.
He's going to have a lot of lane presence.
She'll be able to come online earlier than you think. I mean, 10, 15 minutes, that's a hero that can start getting involved in these pushes.
Okay, well, you fight them early or you take them late.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what I'm seeing here.
They do have the response pick, so...
They do.
Okay, I'm trying to think here.
What is the pick?
Honestly, there's not many mid-heroes that do well.
PL?
PL, but I think with the...
Skywrath again.
Okay.
I think you might have gone to this one too many times here.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. I'm going with Newbee.
Gang, I'm kind of liking this Newbee draft.
Yeah,
this Medusa last pick is unexpected, but I really like it here.
Their lanes are strong. You can't gant the Medusa.
What are you thinking, Nahaz? Are you on
the first time this series that I felt like Newbee has had the advantage coming out of the draft. It's hard to go against them. I have to go Newbee.
I want to see the heroes again. Okay. I'm gonna go with Planet Odd. I'll be devil's advocate on this one because I do think that they have insane team fight power. I think that if one team fight goes really well, they could really snowball.
Void is a great combo.
Sky Void's a great combo. I think if Newbee ever choose to fight them in the wrong way, they're gonna lose.
Okay.
Okay, well, some interesting picks here in our Game 3 of the Winter Bracket Finals. This is what it comes down to. This will decide who moves on to the best-of-5 Grand Finals and who's going down to face TNC for elimination. We've got Sunsman and Drax once again to take it away.
Thank you so much, Zyori. Really appreciate that. Sunsman here with Brax. We have a Medusa versus a repeat Weehaw Skyrath Mage, which absolutely wrecked Game 1.
You called
Will
the
he find
Medusa.
same success? What's that?
I said you called the Medusa.
Well, anytime you're with a Drow and you need a mid-hero and Puck can go off lane, I mean, the main issue with this line is they didn't have any tank ability. Now with Medusa, you get damage, you get tank ability, you have team fight, is good against this 3 melee heavy lineup with a Void.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how they're going to actually fight if Medusa just stands in front like that, but we'll have to see. We Skyrath again. Could be good.
Yeah, whose lineup do you actually prefer, though?
Newbee. I think Newbee's is easier to play, but there is potential with Chronosphere and Skyrath Mage, of course, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see the ultra late game Skyrath Mage Ags and Chrono. Is that good? Just say yes.
No.
Okay.
I think it's good against illusion lineups, though. That's pretty much the only time you pick it up, I'm pretty sure, because Mystic Snake will just instantly kill all illusions. It's pretty freaking good, actually. But in this game, as much as I want to see it, Brax, I don't think we're going to.
All right.
But you never know. This is Dotes, so you've seen some stranger things in life, for sure. Misery's going to roll down mid with this smoke and place, he was going to place the ward, there we go. Close to the tier 1 tower. I don't think that one's getting dewarded. Interesting spot.
It's pretty tough ward to deward, especially with the cover of the smoke. You know, one thing the panel didn't talk about so much is that Planet Odd's lanes are very strong. Right, we have the Earth Spirit Skyrath Mage in the mid lane. Very easy to kill Medusa unless Sanking wants to sit there. And if he does, then that opens up the top lane for Moon's Void with the Poor Man's Shield against 2 pretty basic right clickers. I mean, not the greatest laners, especially against PMS. So they have that small advantage that could, you know, open up the map and lead to bigger things here.
God, that Drow Ranger mask is hideous. I
don't like
hate
it?
it so much. Because it's a mask of madness, man. Like, ugh.
She doesn't even buy the item anymore.
I know. Even
or maybe she will.
Even back then, she didn't buy that much, right? It was still a niche pick overall.
Yep. Is it different in the? Oh no, it's not. Okay.
No, it's not. It's just as hideous in the Chinese. I
was hoping it'd be better, but not the case.
No, I was actually hoping it would be banned. It would just be a completely different item altogether, but not to be, unfortunately. So we saw him just absolutely destroy the Bracer here, picked up right off the bat for the fast Atos.
Yep.
And once he got the Atos, that's when he started to really take off. And then you saw the itemization by Newbee to try to counter that later in the game with, I don't think we saw a Yules, but we saw a bunch of Force Staffs.
Yep, and he still made great plays to just ult after the Force Staff.
Yeah, exactly. He just baited the crap out of it. We're going to have a roll in on Kaka right off the bat. The Burrow Strike will connect on Earth Spirit. Just trading some damage pretty early on. Of course, Misery can sit here the entire game. Is Kaka okay sitting here?
I don't think he wants to be here, but he has to be here to protect Medusa. Otherwise, she's just going to get rolled on and die. And she'll get pressured so hard.
And he comes in again.
Yep, just
that Orb of Venom doing work. This actually might be enough damage. He's going to have to pop his Fairy Fire. Will live, or will he? Oh, the Health Salve will save his life, but that is a wasted Health Salve.
Yep, now he's got to bring out a new one, and that's a lot of time where he's getting just pressured in this lane at almost no health.
Yeah, that is rough. So this looks like it's going to be a 1 lane, if all things stay even, as they are going now at least, for Planet Odd. How is Medusa as far as comeback mechanics after like a struggling lane?
She does farm fast, but she's also here that wants to be able to move in these team fights and just tank up in the front lines. And if you don't get off to the greatest start, you don't have enough items or levels to really survive when that happens, and then you can start to fall behind a bit. So it could be problematic, but I mean, she's still relatively safe in this lane for now. Is full health, so
and Medusa, we'll probably be discussing her quite a bit since we don't get to see her as often as, well, I was going to say as we like. I know a lot of people that actually used to hate the Medusa days.
Nobody likes Medusa.
I mean, Medusa typically, it's Kaka. It's going to get initiated on just a bit here, but we're not watching that. We're watching Puck.
Is he though? We don't know.
Yeah, Illusory Orb place, that's great.
Got that creep?
The build on Medusas. Dragonlance, I assume, is an item?
Not always.
No? Lincoln Sphere? Is Lincoln's
probably
good this game?
Not. She might just rush Scotty right away to get as much tank ability.
Like first item?
Yep, just to get as tanky as possible.
Wow.
Sometimes you see the Yasha, sometimes you see SNY, but Scotty is the item that gives you the most tank ability.
Yeah, and one of those struggles that Medusa players find from time to time, at least in a historical sense, is the fact that you want to build tanky, but it feels like you do no damage until you get that 4th or 5th item, but having a Drow on your team makes it you don't really care that much about that at all, as long as Drow can keep her distance.
In a lineup like this, she doesn't need to deal with damage. As long as she survives, then she'll be able to set up the spells for her teammates, like Sand King, Puck, all these heroes do lots of damage when she doesn't need to, and then later on in the game, she can actually get some damage.
You know, an interesting, what do you think about, not to get theory craft here, but we're talking about how the Medusa was the last pick for Newbee, and then Planet Odd had the choice of the last pick. I was thinking maybe Silencer would be interesting.
For what purpose?
For the mid, but the problem is Weeha does not play that hero.
No. Well,
in fact, you have pure damage for Medusa, you have Global Silence to prevent Sand King, Puck, and all these other heroes from initiating.
It is good against the other heroes, but I don't think it does anything particularly special.
I know you're a big hater on Silencer mid though, right?
No, I'm not actually. I think the hero's pretty good.
Really? Who was that then? Somebody was talking crap. Up top lane, Faceless Void, Moon Meander will drop, has already used his Time Walk.
First blood. Are we going to see the pop-up?
Wait for it.
Come on.
They've just stopped, they've aborted.
They've given up on it.
Man.
There was no Roshan one as well last game, huh?
Really? Ah, that's true.
I liked it.
That is unfortunate. Up mid lane, the roll in on SCC.
No man, but he's getting clicked.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
He is donezo. Couple more right clicks, no mana needed. That's what happens, and Kaka's like, I just left this lane. Ah. But at least he gets solo XP. Maybe that was the plan all along.
You know, that is the plan. He's hoping he dies and then soaks up the sweet solo experience.
Have you ever done that before?
Of course.
Many a time?
Oh yeah, I would love that.
I mean, you have your own lane though, as an off-laner.
Sometimes it's not laneable and I sit behind mid and wait for him to die.
Nice. Oh, top lane. And Meander taking some harassment damage again. Time Walk. Is Dilation, how much play are you going to see from that spell this game? How high value is it? Does it work on Phase Shift?
Yeah.
That could be good. Well, that's hard to pull off though.
Yeah, it is.
Because ever since they nerfed it to where you have to cast it after the spell is cast, that has dramatically lowered the impact of that skill overall.
Of course, there's going to be things like Yule's potentially being picked up on Puck if he feels like he needs it. Probably needs it because there's 2 silences in the game, so that also purges that. Makes it much less effective. But I mean, Moon has 13 CS in this offlane, even though he did die. That's quite a lot for an offlaner. So all of Planet Odd's lanes going pretty well. Puck actually has a ton of CS because Sven, of course, very easy stun for Puck to dodge. Phoenix not the greatest support early on in the game at zoning offlaners, so he's set up for a pretty good lane this game. We're
not going to spend much time talking about Sven because we've been casting him so much. And
everyone knows what he does, guys.
He does the exact same thing every game. He's
I wonder what item build he's going to go for.
Yeah, let's talk about that for 20 minutes. His bottom lane, Puck getting initiated on, gets the illusory orb off. Is it going to be enough to actually get away? The Fire Spirits are ticking him down. Health Salve will not be enough. In fact, is just wasted at the end of the day. That means mid lane, though, Weeha might get initiated upon, but yeah, the level 2 Burrow Strike not quite in range.
Good luck ganking the 375 move speed Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we'll bring up from time to time as well. Who's the fastest hero in the game? Just base move speed.
Is it CK?
I remember CK, Skywrath, and Luna being the top 3, and I'm struggling to remember. And Enchantress, and actually Enchantress might be number 1.
Is
right?
She got move speed buff. She's 335 at level 1. Is that right?
So Skywrath I think is probably tied with CK or something like that.
I believe so.
We have another roll in again onto SCCC. And it's gonna prompt a
rotations again.
Rotation, yeah.
You know, even though they don't kill the Medusa there, they are forcing responses from Newbee over and over, and that frees up the other lanes. I mean, Sand King's been spending probably about half his game just in the mid lane trying to protect Medusa.
Yeah, and Void's going to get a lot of XP and farm out of these random rotations that we see.
Yep, already 5.
Yeah, he's doing quite well as far as the experience is concerned. Earth Spirit taking a stun to the face, takes a howl as well, and a couple more right clicks. Will it be enough to actually kill him? Indeed.
Very unexpected silence there.
Yeah, the gust value.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense though, especially against the Faceless Void in lane, so nice play there.
In terms of what you want to buy on the Faceless Void this game, as an offlaner, we see Linken's a lot. Is that value this game at all, do you think? The swap?
Vlad's is going to be pretty big, probably his first item.
Vlad's into what? You go Blink Dagger?
He might actually, because he needs to... A lot of their lineup plays off the Chronos here right now, especially the Skywrath Mage.
Right.
So it could be the Blink Dagger, but typically we see Voids build more like a core. You know, they go for like the Vlads and just the standard farming kind of carry items, but we'll have to see. It does depend from player to player and whatever they feel they need in the game.
Man, that must be frustrating for SC. He has an infused raindrop, and just every single time, just a measly little arcane bolt takes 1 charge away every single time.
Yeah, but looks measly, but it hurts.
Bottom lane might have some action coming up soon. A loser orb coming out. Nope. With that down, I don't know if they actually want to fight. Soxa gets burrow struck. Mugi. That's a surprise drow rotation.
Yeah, definitely not expected at all,
1.
but Newbee looking to make the first move in this game for a tower.
Yeah, but you made a good point earlier about the fact that like we talked about Skywrath Mage somewhat being countered by Force Staffs and Yules and whatnot, but in Chronosphere you can't do any of that stuff. It actually just guarantees the Mystic Flare will do its damage.
There's no defensive item that they can buy to help at all in Chronosphere.
Is that true though?
You can pipe them, I guess.
There's Pipe, there's
Mech.
What about Atos on Void before he gets Manta?
What is that? Well, Void's not going to be the one killing him in Chrono.
That's
right?
true.
It's just the disable.
It's still the Mystic Flare that's really going to be doing its damage. So in that case, do you go DPS at all on Void ever after the initiation
probably will.
picked up?
It helps with your farm speed a lot. You don't want to just be that Chronosphere. You want to be able to be a little bit beefy, a little tanky.
Right. And we haven't even talked about Sunray as well. And we're going to see that combo right now.
Big setup for the Sunray.
On top of the Chronosphere. Vengeful Spear taking a ton of damage, gets the stun off. Here's the rotation from Puck. He's going to do a ton himself. Should be able to clean it up, so that's a 1-for-1. Void actually procs the break on the coil, but not enough damage coming out from Puck to actually secure himself the second kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sand King is...
just tanks it, alright.
Oh, you can always... That's always the plan, right? If you can tank through it, then who cares? Weehaw gets gusted. Right click by Mugi. Kaka, he might actually drop to Weehaw, and he does. A couple more right clicks will take him down, but he keeps missing up high ground. Sunray helping heal his comrade in arms.
Yep,
so
and that is a 3 points into the Frost Arrows from Drow. I'm not sure how usual this is because I haven't seen a lot of Drow for a long time, but tons of points in that, looking to get active. You even see the Gust come out from time to time.
Yeah, I remember seeing 2 points at least put in, and then maybe they level the rest. It depends on the lineup, I suppose, but I don't think I've seen Precision Aura not maxed at first.
Right.
That is
there might be some early points on the Frost Arrows, but that's usually about it. Tons of stacks everywhere in the jungle, by the way, to help Medusa catch up.
I mean, split shot with Drow Aura. And Venge. We haven't even talked about the Venge Aura. Level 1 Vengeance Aura.
Lots of right-click synergy from all these heroes.
I mean, that's 46 extra damage that Medusa would not have had otherwise. Gotta love it. Bottom lane, Resolution gets a Stormbolt off. Misery gets the silence on the Sand King, rolls in. Do they actually have vision? Doesn't look like that is the case, so Kaka will just chillax for a bit.
Yep, he's going do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
That's right.
Indubitably. Oh, we have a swap. Venge, though, gets silenced, and Mystic Flare comes out, but not enough damage. Oh, a nice stun from Misery from seemingly across the map. Arcane Bolt, not enough to finish off Faith, though. Misery, don't think you're going to have the range, my friend.
Yeah, Raindrop saving his life there.
And he still has 3 charges left. Do they actually want to use this? The Shrine is actually down for another 160 seconds, so we'll have to walk all the way back to base. Or will he? Oh no, he has Tranquil Boots, I didn't even realize. Good, clean item, for sure.
Yep.
He's going to rotate bot, actually. His Resolution just continuing to farm.
Yeah, Moogie's coming in too. They're looking for this gank.
Oh, here we go, Kaka. Can they actually layer their stuns properly? Burrow Strike into a Gust, into a Venge stun, and yes, more than enough damage to take out that pesky Sven. And speaking of Sven, have they been stacking for him? I don't see... The Ancients are not stacked.
Not at all, huh?
All right, well...
Very unusual for Sven. Usually you want to... Chrono
mid lane, Chrono into Mystic Flare. Will this actually be enough damage? Indeed. Way too much, in fact. But here comes the counter coil onto 2. Moon's just going to time walk out of it. Gust cancels the Earth Spirit roll. Kaka's here to play as well. Sunray dealing a decent amount of damage. Actually dodges the Burrow Strike with the egg, but they should be able to take this out, I do believe.
Yep.
And down goes Soxa on the Phoenix. So it's a 2-for-1 right now. Kaka sandstormed up. Resolution just cleaving onto Kaka. Not going to be enough to take him out initially, but I would imagine they have enough damage to finally finish him out. The Moon is the only one, though. Burrow Strike, and away goes Sand King. Beautifully done. Resolution almost got the better with that cleave, man.
So close, actually. One more hit. Man, a lot of big ultimate cooldowns here on. We have the Egg, very long cooldown as well. Chronosphere, also long cooldown. And I mean, these fights are kind of going back and forth. They're pretty even here, with Newbee kind of coming out on top here. They don't rely on these long cooldowns.
I know I bring this up all the time, Breck, so don't cringe too much. But
okay.
I think this is a game where you actually go Ags relatively early on Void. Because
on Void?
It's a super low cooldown, and Sunray is enough damage a lot of times to get the kill with just the, and of course Mystic Flare has a low cooldown as well. So you don't have to rely on like these ridiculously long cooldowns.
No, it would be very good to avoid that cooldown problem because that is their big team fight setup, and with the fast-paced lineup with the Drow and Avenge, you know, you're gonna have to be fighting pretty much all the time. That's what they look for. They look for these fights where you use these long cooldowns like the Chronosphere, and then they have 2 minutes where they can smoke up and just run around. Right now, it looks like they're looking at Roshan too, perhaps.
No, they're smoking up, bypassing Roche, traversing towards the top lane area, which is where a good portion of Odd is located right now. And actually, they're gonna go right behind them. Kaka is gonna run into Misery. Did Misery see that? I think so.
Yep, they know.
Vengeful Spirit does have a swap to set something up. Moon Meander, no Chronosphere for another 30 seconds. Mugi gonna run into 3. We have the Howl, we have the Burrow Strike onto Faceless Void.
He's tanky though.
Yeah, they're really playing careful. They think Chronosphere might be up. It's relatively close. 15 seconds to go. Phoenix Egg is up as well. He's going to use it in the trees, actually. I don't know if they're going to be able to take this out. Oh, it is level 1, so we'll see. Nice stun, preventing a little bit of damage. And Soxa's Egg will actually pop. Drow Ranger and Vengeful Spirit drop to the deck. Looks like Misery will trade his life here as Kaka getting Sunrayed. Nice job for Soxa to be able to take him out by himself, essentially. So a 3-for-1. Despite having the decent initiation possibility there.
Yep, they had the flank there, but Misery saw him through the trees right when he turned the corner there, and that set him up for success right there. They were able to position the trees well. We saw the egg come out, and Sand King tried to kill it, but he had to run, and then Venge came in and just died to it, trying to kill it as well. Nice play from Soxa. Blade Mail picked up on Medusa. Okay, this is the Eternal Envy special.
So Blade Mail, because he's the focus of the fight. Doesn't really synergize well with his ult, but I guess his ult is pretty long cooldown, so maybe it doesn't really matter.
Well, you wouldn't use them together, right?
Yeah,
You'd Blade Mail first and then pop the ult after if it looks like they want to commit for you, that kind of thing.
I mean, his ult just absolutely wrecks Sven.
Yes, it does.
Have you ever seen Blink Dagger Medusa before?
I have.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen everything, so. How is that?
Some games it's great.
Is it really? Like,
yeah.
Even today you can get away with it, you think?
Yeah. It puts you in a position where people have to either sit there and fight you or run away, and usually if they run, they're slowed by a large amount, and
right.
That's what usually.
I mean, I can definitely see the synergy. It's just the issue with Medusa is you just run out of slots so fast. You want to buy so many items.
Yep, you want all these small items.
But with backpack, Brax.
Wow, the magic.
Anything. I mean, you can buy Refresher on Medusa. What a great item. Terrific. KP on Puck has the Blink Dagger now, by the way, in case you were wondering. Is going an Urn.
Okay, team player right there.
Yeah, he's saving that one charge of Infused Raindrop to make sure that he can finish that recipe. That is really weird, by the way. I don't know why.
Yeah, that it's made it a raindrop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Odd. I mean, I like it on some respect, but it's just weird having... I have one charge left. Okay, I can't use it anymore, guys. Like, you can do economical damage just by spamming one more Arcane Bolt.
The game is evolving.
Is that what it is?
It is.
He has Mask of Madness. He's actually going for the Sage first, so Halberd will be the choice for resolution. Doesn't feel like he needs a Blink Dagger, any kind of initiation. They have
lots of initiation for sure.
And the problem is their initiation doesn't really synergize potential. Like Sven and Chrono don't synergize at all unless you get the perfect Chrono.
It's definitely something where you want Sven fighting on one side and then Void fighting on another side.
Right.
I mean, they want to ignore this Medusa as much as possible in team fights, so.
No, they're not going to ignore her now. She pops the Blade Mail and will walk away safely.
Yep, just very hard to go on the Medusa there with Venge sitting behind along with the Blade Mail.
And this is like a pub build on Mugi. He has, well, Dragon Lance is pretty standard. He's going for the
Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade.
Yep, that's what it's all about.
You split push, you're like, okay, I did my damage, goodbye. Kaka could be breaking up a potential smoke here, but luckily for him, there's no smoke purchased on Planet Odd right now. Would you look at that? That's crazy. Do you want to talk about Sven for 20 minutes and his items choices?
Yeah, let's do that. So he's going to pick up the Halberd, he's going to farm some jungle creep. Then he's going to get big and red and run around in circles while he can't hit anyone, and then lose a game. Or win, we don't know.
How is their kite ability? Other than the Medusa that we've talked about, they have
Venge
Burrow Strike, Swap.
We'll have Coil, or
Coil's
potentially an Ag's Coil for later on in the game, too.
Yeah, even worse. Boy. Yeah,
I mean,
why did they... So what's the idea of picking Sven this game? This is before the Medusa.
Right. I mean, they knew that the Drow was coming up. It was set up by the Puck. It looked quite obvious, and I'm sure they expected it as well. But you do have the armor, right? The tank ability in that sense. So once you have the armor built up on your team, Drow kind of can't stand there and fight. She's going to run. And heroes get on top of her, she loses damage. But I mean, outside of that, it just looks bad when it's not ahead, right?
Right.
Like, that's just how the hero
that's
functions.
Sven,
Yeah, that's exactly Sven. When he's ahead, he looks like a god.
He's
And
top
when
of the net worth on his team.
On his team.
But
That's not
he's
enough.
far, and this is something we don't actually see very often, is Medusa being top of the net worth this early. It's actually insane how
When she
farmed he
gets
is.
to this point in the game, too, it just continues to grow. You know, she has max levels in the split shot, kills everything really quickly with the Drow aura as well.
So we'll be going for a Manta style first.
Yep, lots of silences. Nice for that.
This is, for a lot of people, is a no-no item.
Yeah.
But this game, I think you're right, to take off these silences is quite helpful.
It is the best way to deal with the silences, but it's a big no-no item because of the damage it provides. The stats are not great, the illusions are quite weak.
And Sand King gets initiated on by Misery. Here comes a coil, though. Will they actually be able to turn this around? They don't want to commit any more time to actually take him out. They're going to sacrifice Kaka with... What was that burrow strike? That was like a melee burrow strike.
That was the get me out of here.
Get me out of here. Inside the map, please.
Send
Boogie.
me back to the fountain.
Shadowblade is complete at base. See how that comes into effect here. His resolution continuing his goal of purchasing that halberd. 20% XP gain, talent chosen for... This is a pretty cool hero, actually. Because I know Soxa, he buys 100% of the games he buys Midas.
Yep.
On Phoenix. You get the 20% XP gain, then you get the 150 gold per minute at 15. And then if this game somehow goes to like 40, 50 minutes, it's actually a super farmed.
Yeah, he's like 20k
Phoenix.
net worth. Got like 4.5 items.
Yeah, I think it's one of those heroes that it's just, you don't realize how effective a lot of these items are. Like Shiva's.
Oh, they're gigantic.
Even
has
like
Ags
Ags,
potential.
like a 5-6 item Ags just saves your game.
So good.
Or ruins it, actually, depending on how it's used.
I would say saves more often than ruins.
You think so? Huh?
Yeah, it's really difficult to hit the egg that many times in a team fight.
Yeah, that's true. How many times do you have to hit the egg? It's 13 with Scepter.
There's a talent for it as well.
And then plus that, so 15 if you hit 25. Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yep.
And you're assuming you have a Shiva, so slower attack speed and all that good stuff. So.
And to sit there in a team fight and hit an egg 15 times when there's so many other heroes, you know, in there is so unrealistic.
How does a split shot work with that? It should hit it, right?
I think it only hits it if you have it clicked.
So it's just like a building then. If you click the building, then it'll split shot to other things, but it will not split shot if it's not the main target.
Right, that's how I believe it works.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do believe you are correct. So SC finishes the Manta, and Scotty is the next item of choice.
Yeah.
As Halberd is now done on Resolution. So, wait a second. Faith went earned. What did Puck actually finish? No, he didn't actually. He's going for a Yules now.
Okay. Again, good for dealing with the silences. Looks good. You've got to start worrying here for Odd. I mean, Medusa is farming ridiculously fast at this point in the game.
You're dead.
Yep. Shadowblade.
And there's no item that you typically see on a Phoenix that can actually get out of it. He has to get like a Yules or a Lotus Orb or something.
Yep. I think Lotus Orb looks like the most common item, but he does want Shivas.
Yeah.
You know, tons of physical damage, reduces the attack speed, good synergy with the egg.
Oh, Faith is going to run into a couple of odds heroes, and Moon Meander will say hello along with Resolution. That's going to be a freebie. Almost as if he's playing Crystal Maiden there.
He just has Crystal Maiden flashbacks for life, doesn't he?
Was CM banned? I don't remember it being banned.
I don't actually remember.
They're actually picking... They're not picking CM?
My god.
When he's not banned?
They had a plan.
Shocking. Yeah, apparently.
Yep, Venge with the Drow.
It is Avenge, so you can't go wrong.
Yep.
What level is he actually? He's level 10, so 2 more levels and Nether Swap becomes a legitimate threat.
Yeah, very true.
That's when it starts getting real juicy. Do you like the juicy Nether Swap,
I do.
Good.
That's what it's all about.
Medusa taking out some Ancients here.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a farm. I mean, it's Medusa versus Sven, so they're going to see a lot of stacks, going to see a lot of jungle camping.
Yep.
Weeha, as we talked about, the Rod of Atos, almost done with his Blink Dagger as they're going to smoke up. So we are going to see some action here, potentially.
That's what we're hoping for.
I'm not sure if they know if Drow has... they should know that Drow has the Lothars now.
Yeah, do we have any reveal for her? One sentry on Misery.
Might be good enough as Medusa is the first one to spot the
they don't
smoke.
want Medusa.
Yeah, that is the last hero.
Yep.
And SC, does he spot him? I think so.
He's just walking in at him. He knows that they can't hurt him.
A nice Mystic Snake. dealing a decent amount of damage. Resolution gets coiled. Is this going to force Planet Odd's hand to fight? Doesn't look like it. So coil is actually expended for nothing.
Yeah, both teams don't want to dive into them to group up for these big AoE spells. They don't want to...
Oh, that was... Alright, Manta Staff for the win. Uh-oh. Yules onto Void, wants to get a Chronosphere up, but he gets silenced. There's SC's ult going to work, and Void falls to the ground. It's a 1-for-1 though, Sand King's taken out. Phoenix able to be dropped before the egg comes out, and Earth Spirit, that was a full duration Stone Gaze, keeping him into stone form, and that is 3 kills in the blink of an eye in Newbee's favor. And that means at any point in the game, Roche is just boom, done so.
Looks like it's right now as well. We got so much physical damage for this. They have such a problem fighting into this Medusa. I know Void wasn't able to get off the Chronosphere there. He got Yules by the puck into the silence, and he just died from there. But even if they chrono Medusa, nothing is really gonna happen. Venge has swap if she's ever in danger, but she's so tanky that she probably can just sit there, and the rest of the team will be able to follow up. It actually sets up Sand King to land a big epicenter.
Alright, I know you guys are watching the Chinese cam right now, but I'm clicking on Weeha, and I'm very excited, Brax. Why is that?
Because he's got an Aghanim Scepter in his quick buy. He is 4,000 gold away from it, but...
Yeah, Sven, though, while we talk about this beautiful Aghanim's potential pickup, Resolution is surrounded and will die. Great pickoff for Newbee. I believe that was the coil expended to be able to ensure that kill.
Yep.
So how, we talked about Ags the first game being kind of iffy because of the Nyx Assassin. How is it this game, do you feel? That's two, so for people that don't know, it essentially casts all your abilities twice. A second time for free. Randomly, random targets.
Right. I mean, it looks good. It should, Moon here, it'll be okay, Shadow Amulet. It should be good, in theory. You have Chronosphere to lock these heroes down, they can't get force-staffed out. Venge does have swap to save 1 target, but now you have 2 potential targets instead of just 1. So...
I've never actually seen it in a pro game, have you?
No, I think I've seen Skywrath Mage like twice in the last 3 years or something.
If you see him, it's not a mid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Weeha special, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so we're in for a real treat if he can actually farm it in time, because right now they are down by above 5k.
Yep, he picked up that nifty 90 gold per minute talent, so he'll have it in approximately 30 minutes from now.
Oh, I didn't know Skywrath even had that. 90 gold a minute at level 15? What does that compare to Phoenix?
Phoenix has 150.
My God.
He has the highest one in the game.
Uh-oh. Venge getting absolutely destroyed by Skywrath Mage. That means SC needs to get out. Soxa's killing himself.
Oh,
that Blade Mail definitely doing its job. And it looks like SC will get away safely. Moon Meander in the meantime, like you said, he has the Shadow Amulet. Do they have vision? And that is a big whopping no, but I bet they don't even think he's here still.
Do they? They're sitting there.
Maybe they spotted the fact that he didn't have a TP. And KP does not have vision, no. They're just abandoning ship.
Nothing they can do about that to get that kill there.
So instead of Blink Dagger, he's going to be going for the Shadow Blade on Void.
Yep.
In fact, I think the Courier Courier has Claymore on it, and it's by the side shop. Oh, they actually scan him! Oh boy.
They know, but do they have any reveal?
So they scan him without reveal. Here comes Vengeful Spirit. There's 2 sentries.
It's time for Moon to hold. The Courier might get sniped here too, coming with the Shadow Blade.
Right. That could be a big snipe. They see the Courier. They're not going to be able to get it now. Moon Meander. This is wasting so much time though, but what actually is happening? Nothing's really happening.
Oh, they're farming. Everyone's farming on the side of Odd.
They're not really pushing too much. Resolution pushing bottom just a bit. Moon has been he's been here for so long.
I'm the spaceman himself.
Oh, they actually find the Courier. Oh, the vision, not quite enough. Illusory Orb isn't going to get enough vision. They're not moving the Courier. All right, well, that's a dead Shadow Blade for the next 3 minutes or so.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
And he's still stuck here. All right, he's starting to move a bit. Oh, man. I haven't seen something like this in a long time.
Yeah, but I know. He bought a minute and a half of time.
Yeah, that's true. But that cost him 3 minutes on this Shadow Blade. We'll see if that actually ends up mattering. So Tier 1 Tower. Resolution pops his ultimate for this Tier 1. They're going to get it.
Newbee might just walk up the hill at that point.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, Arcane Rune on Medusa as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dirty. All right, he pops it. It's actually not going to last much longer, though. They're
chipping away at this tower. And it's really difficult for Odd to start this engagement because they don't want to go on this Medusa at all, especially with Aegis.
Yeah, she is getting low on mana though.
Well,
They do a decent
back.
amount of damage to the tower, but this is the Aegis we're talking about. And how much time do we have? About a little bit less than a minute. As we're going to see a potential initiation, but it ends up being a Mystic Flare, end up being wasted. Egg on top of the Void ult. It's going to be able to stun both Puck and SC, but how much damage are they actually be able to do? Sven getting kited on the outskirts. Skywrath Mage is completely blown up. It's a 1-for-0 right now to start off this fight as Soxa able to get to safety. Skywrath Mage buys back into the game. Medusa, remember, still has Aegis for a little bit less than a minute. Should be about 20 seconds or so. She actually wants to die right now. Has to be careful that the timing is not screwed up too much as Puck getting silenced. Is she being able to, actually just in time able to phase shift the Arcane Bolt. Yule's out and able to get away. The Sunray not nearly enough to take him out. Faceless Void in the meantime is silenced, has the amulet. Gotta expect them to not have any more sentries after that long engagement in the top lane. That is a dieback on Skywrath Mage. Weehaw feeding his life as Faceless Void looks to be next. And Newbee looking great position to finish this, or at least get a Rax.
The one thing Odd have going for them is the Aegis expired of Medusa without replenishing all of her mana.
Yeah.
So.
Resolution pops in. He gets the nice dodge though from the Manta yet again from SC, and it's going to be ending up being a wasted Sven ult at the end of the day. In fact, he might actually die for this. Indeed, he does. Burrow strike down to Phoenix, and the right clicks are just way too much to handle. Buyback by Soxa. They know he does not have Egg. Sven buys back now. That is rough. They know he doesn't have his ultimate.
Medusa
AKA
has
just
no mana.
A walking stun. And SC just right-clicking away to his heart's content. Misery jumps in, but there's the counter Burrow strike. Do they have enough to actually finish him off in the distance? Indeed they do. He buys back into the game, and my God,
he's just getting
they are
kited.
dropping like flies. A greater than sign, 15K lead for Newbee.
Oh my.
And this is when Newbee wants to back off. They know they've done enough economical damage. And I don't think Planet Odd's going to be able to find anybody. There is a TP at the shrine for Skywrath Mage, so maybe they can get somebody. Vengeful Spirit's not nearly enough, though. They need way more than this.
Yeah, they're definitely hoping for more. That was like 12 kills from Newbee there.
That was
it feels like. There was like 4 buybacks, tons of damage being done.
Yeah, it's not looking good, my friend, for Planet Odd.
Don't look at the net worth. It's looking pretty bad.
I already did, actually.
Boy. It's open on the stream
it's
as well.
greater than 15K, which equates to 20K right now.
Okay,
actually,
good to know.
So,
I wasn't sure which number that exactly was.
A lot of money going the way of Newbee. Let's see what that translates in terms of items. That's just a straight up diffusal onto Mugi. That's going to be absolutely amazing if you can cast it on Sven, who's not even close to a BKB. Yep. Taking off Warcry is huge.
Very, very annoying to deal with. And Medusa almost had, she has the evasion now, picked up after her Scotty, so even more difficult to lock down. I mean, Medusa just feels unkillable at this point of the game, unlike Soxa here getting clicked down.
Yeah, we're not even going to bother talking about it. It just happens. It's just one of those things. You run into the hero, you're just dead.
Pretty much. That is how it happens.
We've seen the last couple games. We've seen these quote-unquote Trump picks, as we're going to call them. Okay. Not related to Donald Trump, of course. That would never be a good thing. But
no.
The Medusa just felt like that pick this game, even though it wasn't the final pick. It felt like they couldn't really. I don't know if they could have picked anything to counteract that. They ended up picking the Skywrath. It hasn't really worked out. I mean, he's been getting kills, but it does nothing to Medusa.
And once you see like these heavy ultimates trying to be committed to bring down a hero, well, now all of a sudden you have this hero that's unkillable, kind of like the Bristleback that just sits there and tanks these spells.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's for sure.
Yeah, and
Moon Meander gets a nice Chronosphere onto 2. That's a lot of damage coming from the Mystic Flare, actually. And they're going to be able to take out Vengeful Spirit with ease, but it's going to cost Skywrath, Phoenix, and Void their lives. Kaka getting quite low to Misery's ult, but again, these are diebacks, by the way, on a lot of these heroes. Resolution, the final member remaining. It's going to take a little bit of magic damage. KP's not going to be able to finish him off himself, but just forcing him back to the fountain. And that leaves Mugi to just right-click the racks, and hey, the top rack is gone, and that is GG. Newbee goes to the grand finals. Planet Odd will be facing TNC in the lower bracket finals.
Yep, that Medusa pick was so good against their lineup.
Medusa for the win. Blade Mail, Manta. Did he get Scotty?
Yep.
And then what else?
Evasion. He was working on Butterfly.
The Butterfly, wow. And the tower, I mean, Medusa just doesn't feel